Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different for a couple different reasons. The first of which is if you hear something in the background, there is somebody working on the cabin who is not myself and not the missus. My friend Craig is here, and a lot has happened in our lives in the last, just since the last video. There's an urgency to finish the cabin right now. So, of course, the one day that him and I were both available so that we could do it together happens to be the day that we're also in the middle of a 24-hour rainstorm. Bright sunshine yesterday, bright sunshine tomorrow, rain today. So, kind of is how it is. We have some work that needs to get done this weekend, so there'll be another video that comes out. But we're busting it out. A lot to tell you, but we'll get to that. What I thought I'd do first, though, is I have not taken you on the path that we use to get back into the cabin every day. There's a very good possibility that within a month or two, again, story for later, this path is not going to exist anymore. So I might tell you about that either today or another video, but I want to at least show you how cool this walk is into this cabin. So let's go for a walk. The best part about this cabin, as I've said all along, is that it is completely hidden from view when all of the leaves get on the trees. Some of you might have caught a glimpse of it there, but right here is the trail that we have kind of created to get materials back. So we're gonna just go for a little walk. Those of you that know enough about fauna and flora know that we're walking basically through a whole bunch of poison ivy, which you've seen in our previous videos of the fact that I get it pretty bad. But we follow this path back all the way into the woods, and then cabin appears. Pretty neat. What Craig has been working on is installing these plastic channels. They get screwed onto our purlins, and then the peaks and valleys, I don't know if you can see it, this is super dirty, but the peaks and valleys of this plastic then sit right on top of there. So those get screwed into the purlins, and then right here we screw down through the panel into this and then into the wood, and that is what holds these roof panels on. So he has been crawling around like a monkey putting all these on. He is about done with this side, about half the side left to do, and then we're going to put some roof on. You win some, you lose some. I started this week's episode saying that this video is going to be a little bit different for a few reasons. The first of which was, which you've already seen, which is my friend Craig coming to help. That's the first time we've had anybody help out on the cabin that isn't myself or Allie. It's cold this morning. The second thing is the fact that, if you notice, I'm wearing a different shirt. So the second thing that's different about this one is that this episode is going to be spaced over a couple days. That was midweek that Craig and I were working. Today is Saturday, our normal work day. And the reason for that is the urgency that I mentioned earlier, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But the reason I'm working today is going back to the first example, and that's the fact that I'm going to have a few extra friends coming over today to finish everything up. We're going to try to do the full exterior of this cabin so the cabin is completely dried in by the end of this day. I have some work to do before they show up, so I am heading out in the woods. So before we put in the windows, which is the first task today, we need to put down some moisture barrier, self-sealing membrane, as Tom Silva on This Old House calls it. They make some that when you lay it in, you can press it into the corners. Our local hardware store did not have that. So a little trick is when you put this up, we're going to cut this so that it wraps around. So you just put a little piece right there that covers that. When we cut this, you'll see what I'm talking about. We just put a little piece there to cover that up. And then when we put the window in, this is the only piece we do first. And then when we put the window in, then this goes over top of the flange of the window to seal that in. So that's our first step. So this is the crew. Ryan, David, Todd. Todd's family's watching, so say hi to Todd's kids.
Hi, Todd's
Hi.
kids.
Hey, Todd's kids.
Hey, kids.
And you know me. So windows are done. We're putting the flashing on the outside, and now we're going to do some siding. Sorry I won't be talking a lot in this video because we're trying to bust this out.
Pop these guys out or keep them in, these little guys? First?
Yeah,
Those help hold it in.
That needs to come out.
Does that help hold it in?
Well, that won't go into that dam if that's there.
If you scoop it in, it won't be on the back side of it? There you go. Oh, that stuff's gotta come out. You want me up here or down there?
I think up there is fine.
Okay. I'll kind of hold that little handle.
What?
Can you go up on your side and try to stand in? There you go. Okay.
cut this thing so the door goes open or no? Is there zip ties that keeps it shut?
Got to. It's pretty tight. Unless
Yeah.
we're screwing.
All the guys have left.
You getting my good angle? I don't think I hit the stud.
So we're going to wrap up this video. We are not going to show you the final, what we've done. You kind of have seen it so far, but we want to do a final reveal video of the finished cabin. So we're going to hold that for another time. But today, I told you that I would wrap up by telling you why we have a sense of urgency. Some things are happening in our lives. If you are friends or family, you probably already know this. If you are watching and you are not friends and family, the big news is
We're selling our house and we're moving.
Yep. So, if you know anything about the whole Gribbenshire process, the cabin is on a different piece of property, but it is adjacent to our house property, and there's the possibility that somebody could want to buy it. So, we are rushing to get the cabin done. Our listing goes live next week, and the cabin needs to be done before that. So, that's why work in the middle of the week, work today, getting some help. But yeah, so pretty big news for us. It would be sad if the cabin went after all this work, but it would also be a really cool ending to it, and it would allow somebody else to really enjoy this really great labor of love that we did. So that's it. The next video will be a big reveal. I'm tired. A reveal video of the completed cabin. So if we're not at 100 subscribers, tell somebody so we can get to 100 subscribers, or maybe the reveal will do. That's my only beg. So stay tuned for some exciting news, and thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side.